Hello my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another book review. Today I'm going to be talking about Unearthly by Cynthia Hand, and this is book 1 in the Unearthly trilogy. So I really enjoyed this book. I really did. So it's told from the first person point of view, and the narrator's name is Clara, and she is what is called an angel blood, which are kind of like Nephilim, another version of Nephilim, which I like, because I believe I have read 2 series that have Nephilim in them so far. The Shadowhunter books by Cassandra Clare, and what was it called? The Violet Eden Chronicles by Jessica Shervington. I'm still not sure if I'm pronouncing that last name right. In each of those series, you know, the Nephilim were kind of different. Sometimes they weren't called Nephilim, sometimes they were, and, you know, there were some very pronounced differences, which I liked. And this is yet another series that has a whole different spin on Nephilim, which is awesome. I like seeing different, like, twists and turns, and seeing people just do different stuff with the same being, more or less. You know, it keeps things interesting, and because, you know, if it was the same old deal, it would get boring pretty fast. So, they aren't really called Nephilim in this world. They're called angel bloods, and, you know, they are basically part angel. They're like the full half-blooded angel bloods who are half angel and half human. There are also quarter bloods, which are quarter angel, which is what Clara is. Her mother is full-on half angel, half human. But her and her brother, Jeffrey, they're only quarter angel. Their father was a human. But, you know, they still are angel bloods. They still have powers. They just aren't quite as strong as a half-blooded angel blood. And there's, like, specific terms for both of them, but I'm gonna not be able to pronounce them. So, I'm not even gonna try. You know, they have, you know, power. You know, they're stronger, faster, the generic, like, superhuman package. They're also really attractive. And, you know, they have a good way with languages. And, of course, again, nifty set of wings, which they can summon at will. And, you know, Clara doesn't know the full extent to her powers, because her mom, she hasn't, you know, given Clara the full package of what to expect. She, in fact, didn't tell Clara she was an angel blood until she was 14, because she wanted her to live a reasonably normal life for as long as possible. And she basically did the same thing with her son, Jeffrey, as well. So, you know, they're kind of learning as they go. Their mother giving them bits of information here and there. One big thing that they have learned is that each angel blood has a purpose. And this purpose is like their supposed reason for being there. And it could be anything at all. And at a certain point in your life, you start to, you know, find out what this purpose is in the form of a vision. So we start the book off with Clara getting her first vision about what her purpose is. And, you know, it's a quick little thing, not very detailed. Not very detailed yet. It's basically her on this mountainous area. There's a forest fire in the distance and quickly approaching, and she's in this clearing with this guy who has his back to her, so she doesn't know what his face looks like yet. And she feels this overwhelming sense of sadness. And that's more or less what the vision is for now. But as time goes on, she sees more and more of this vision, which allows her to try and piece together what her purpose is. Because these visions don't outright tell you what you have to do, or like the context, or even where your purpose takes place. And, you know, this purpose could be, you know, something that's going to happen in the reasonably near future, or it could be something that doesn't take place for years down the road. So yeah, you know, there's a lot of, you know, having to think things out on her part, which is annoying, and I would find it very frustrating if I was in her place. So her mom tries to help her where she can, but there's only so much they can do with what information they're given. Eventually, they do manage to piece together that they are supposed to go into the middle of nowhere in Wyoming. And yeah, basically this whole book is her trying to figure out who the boy in her vision is, what she is supposed to do. Is she supposed to save him? Is she supposed to pass on a message? What is she supposed to do? You know, why he might be, you know, in a clearing, in the forest, during a forest fire, and all that. And she has to handle that all while going to school and basically trying to readjust and fit in again. So I really like it. I love this take on the Nephilim. So that is it for my non-spoiler section. If you do not want to be spoiled, I suggest you click away now and come back after you read the book. So yeah, with that, let's go into some spoilers. So awesome enough for Clara, it doesn't take her long to make friends, which is pretty impressive. As someone who's moved a few times myself, I didn't make friends that fast, you know, as in day one, so go Clara. And on day one, she also meets this mystery boy from her vision, and we find out that his name is Christian, which I find kind of ironic. So she spends a lot of time, you know, trying to figure him out as a person, like why is he part of her purpose and what she's supposed to do and all that fun stuff. In her time in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, she finds out there's another Angel Blood going to her school named Angela, and she is a half-blood in Angel Blood like her mother. Though, yeah, her conception wasn't exactly loving. Her mother was assaulted by a Darkwing, they are called, which are basically fallen angels. So, yeah, Angela wasn't exactly planned or necessarily wanted by her mother. So poor Angela has been trying to figure out this whole Angel Blood thing for the past 15, 16, maybe even 17 years. I can't remember how old she is. Angela actually finds out what Clara and Jeffrey are. She, you know, playfully confronts Clara about this and realizes, hey, look, I'm an Angel Blood too! In a really humorous way, and I actually found myself giggling through that. And so, you know, Clara and Angela become quick friends, and they exchange details and what they know about being an Angel Blood, because Clara is forever frustrated that her mom tells her nothing. And some of that does seem to be for Clara's own good. Apparently she hasn't told her about Darkwings, for example, because the more you know about Darkwings, the more they're able to, like, pinpoint you, I guess. Which isn't good, because Darkwings, like I said, are basically fallen angels, and they like to try and recruit Angel Bloods to their side of this whole war going on between Heaven and the Darkwings. And, you know, any Angel Blood they can't get to their side, they usually kill. So, yeah, it's probably for the best that you don't know about the Darkwings. Can I just say, I'm glad she didn't get full-on romance with Christian, because that just would have annoyed me. I don't think they'd make a good couple, personally. I really don't. Just, no. I don't see it. So the fact that Clara had a crush on him for most of the book kind of frustrated me, because it seemed kind of cliche. And I'm just glad when it didn't really turn into anything. But she has a romantic interest with her friend's brother, Tucker. And, you know, I thought they were pretty cute. I like how they bickered and kind of sniffed at each other before, but, you know, it slowly grew. And I thought that was awesome, and yeah, I just like it, and I like how it wasn't instantaneous. It was over time. It was over the course of, like, the summer and some of the previous school year, so I like that. It was more paced out. With the approach of summer and forest fire season, Clara is going on high alert. She's trying to train herself by, like, carrying things and flying with them to try and build up her strength so she can actually carry Christian out of the fire if that's what she needs to do. She's working super hard to try and be ready so she can fulfill her purpose. But turns out there was a little thing that she didn't expect would happen. The day of her purpose, oh my god, she runs into a Darkwing whose name is Sam, which isn't his full name, I just can't pronounce his full name, and apparently this Sam had a history with her mother, which I found interesting and I kind of want to see more of. Like, I hope that's expanded on in the next two books, because that interests me. So yeah, there's this huge battle between Sam and Clara and her mother, and, you know, right after that, Clara has to go off and fulfill her purpose because this big fire is approaching, and Christian is probably out there, and she finds out later that Tucker is also out there, and then it hits her that this great sadness that she feels in her vision, it's because in her vision she supposedly let Tucker die to save Christian and fulfill her purpose. So she's just kind of like, oh my god, and she's torn. Just, oh my god, that choice. She goes with her heart and goes to save Tucker. I was feeling so much suspense when I was reading that. So much suspense. So she managed to save Tucker, and she's rushing off to try and go to that clearing so she can hopefully have time to save Christian. But by the time she gets there, the fire had already passed, and she's freaked out because it's like, crap, I didn't fulfill my purpose. Is there still time? Is he still somewhere? Or is he dead? So she's flying around like crazy trying to find him, and she does run into him, and he's alive, and he is panicking as well. Turns out Christian is an angel blood as well, and he thought his purpose was to save Clara, and she thought her purpose was to save him. And I find that amusing, and it makes me wonder why they have, like, supposedly the same purpose. At first, part of me is like, oh crap, do the powers that be want them to be a couple? Because that's kind of annoying. And why? And Clara is kind of worried about that as well now. Or were they just supposed to meet, maybe? Who knows? I hope that's expanded on in the next book. And I really hope, you know, the whole Christian-Clara couple isn't forced. I'm curious to see, since neither of them technically fulfilled their purpose, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to them? Are they gonna kind of become tainted? Are they gonna fall, so to speak? I really want to know. So yeah, I love this book. I highly recommend it, and I can't wait to keep reading it. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna stop myself here, and yeah, that is it for this book review, and I hope to see you guys next time. Keep on reading, my fellow book addicts. Keep on reading.